They just say I married this 26-year-old who's jailed for life. Like niggas in jail getting girls before me, bro.
And I got back
It's
with my man
bad, bro.
after he
It's
went to
bad.
jail. He has a life sentence. We don't know when he's getting out. People say pretty or everything. Imagine waiting and when he gets out, you get cheated on and left. I'm sure his bunk buddy is in them drawers every night. Prison relationships is
Hey,
always a
yo.
negative outcome. That is what most people think. But he will be coming home, and I'm certain of that, I'm sure. I invited my mama over today. She's brutally honest, so I expect she gonna have some words.
You need to think about the reality. What if he do come home, and what if he do have an eye? Ooh, baby.
So this is like a magazine that I made of myself. It has a lot of stuff to do with like my relationship and just like where I want to be. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. That's one of my favorite words of affirmation, and that highlights me and Mandy's relationship now. If I want it, it's already mine. So if I want him to be out of jail, he already out of jail. I'm Matriana, and I married my high school sweetheart after he was sentenced to life in prison. The hardest thing for me about in prison is me knowing who he is and feeling like somebody in there and they don't deserve that. You know what I mean? Outside of that, it's the fact that I don't know when he's gonna get out. He has a life sentence right now. He's been in there for going on 7 years. People say a lot of stuff. Why stick beside somebody that's in that situation, or he deserves to be there and they don't even know him? Imagine waiting and when he gets out, you get cheated on and left. I see it every.
So he got life sentence. So, is he eligible for parole later on? Is he like, can he retrial? Like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no way y'all think y'all soulmate is in the Department of Corrections. Don't worry about that. I'm sure his bunk buddy is in them drawers every night. Somebody else called me
crazy.
a crash dummy.
Crazy.
You coming to comment that benefited what? It did what? Prison relationships is toxic, or it's always negative. It's always a negative outcome. That is what most people think, but we're regular, normal people like everybody else that just love hard. I feel like we're a good example of healthy. I have the choice to be with who I want to be with on the outside or the inside, and I choose to be with him, so that should be respected. I met Manny in high school, and I was only really interested in females. You could almost consider me lesbian when I was in high school, but I was interested in him. He knew I liked females. He knew I liked women. So he said, like, you can date women still. Like, I don't mind. Just let me know. He told me that was fine. So I had a little girlfriend or just somebody I was messing with. I told him about it, but it ended up getting around the school. And they kind of like talked about him for it and made him feel bad about allowing me to do that. It initially broke us up. In my mind, I was always with him when we was broken up. Nobody ever came even the little bit as close to him. When I found out that he was incarcerated, it was very hard for me. It was hard for me because I understood like he didn't deserve that and he doesn't deserve that.
Like, what happened?
I just was
like,
looking at his charges and just looking at the situation. I'm like, that's not him. What's going on? So it caused me to have questions. I ended up seeing his cousin outside after all these years. I was through with my relationship for good, and I was just kind of like, this is the time now to reach out. And I was like, tell him to call me. And he ended up calling me like 2 weeks later. It felt like my heart was literally like beating out my chest. I was on the phone just like, literally, that's how it was. Because it's like, how do you fit 9 years worth of words into this short conversation? I just felt every single butterfly you could possibly have on this earth in my stomach. I didn't expect for us to get back together right away, at least. But he was just like, I love you the exact same. And literally every emotion I felt, he felt it. And I was like, this is it. That was my initial reaction to everything. I didn't get like a life sentence. I didn't think of it, nothing like that. It was more so like, okay, now what we gonna do to fix this? I just went right into solve this problem mode. Hello?
all right, man.
How's your day going? I talk to him all day. He need to slow down. Because them calls cost, but we talk all day and I love it. I try to visit him physically twice a month. Being able to see him physically, obviously that's the best part. As far as my kids go, I feel like we're setting positive examples for them.
You got kids?
My younger son, he now understands jail, and we have not only tried to teach him that this isn't a place you want to be, but just because you're there, it doesn't make you any less of a person. He initially proposed to me over the phone. I'm like, yes, yeah, let's get married. Come on, let's do it. I'm with it, let's do it. That day was very nerve-wracking. I always imagined having a big wedding and more people being there. He wanted more people to be there too. He was kind of like, babe, I'm so sorry that I'm not able to give you this. And you could tell when he was reading his vows to me, he was so nervous, and I just thought that was so cute. I'm satisfied. He could have gave me a ring pop as a ring, and I would have been perfectly fine because I know his heart and I know his intention. I was initially a little nervous about telling my mom. I tell her everything, so she knew we were back in communication. She knew that this was something that I always wanted, especially with him. So she was kind of like, "Are you serious?" I invited my mama over today to talk about me and Manny's relationship. She's brutally honest, so I expect she's gonna have some words.
When she first told me that she was getting back together with him, I was real skeptical. I made mistakes in the past being with people that's incarcerated and then it don't work out. When he come home and it's all...
So she did the same thing as her daughter did. So her daughter just doing the same thing you did. She just following up with herself.
All this temptation out here, who's to say what's gonna happen? That's my worst fear. You need to think about the reality.
So what was your concern when we got back together and you realized he was in jail this time?
Baby. Okay, I was like having skeptical kind of thoughts. Knowing the type of person that he is and for the crime that he's in jail for, it's like, what happened? Like, because I never knew him to be like a thug. So when I heard about the cases or whatever, I'm like, oh no, people change, you know. And I just didn't want you to get into a situation and regret it. I want to know that your future is bright. We feel like when he do come home, it's gonna be this type of way. Okay, he's gonna nurture you. He's gonna be there for the boys. He's gonna do what it takes to be the man that he is. But what if it don't work out like that? Yeah. What if he do come home, and what if he do have an eye, or you know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying I won't make mistakes, but I do take what you say into consideration with a lot of things that I do. And I try my hardest not to lose myself because I get what you're saying. But I do think if worse comes to worse, I'm still enjoying him now. You know, like this is still what's making me happy in these moments. I don't feel like it will ever be a waste because I'm being loved the way I never thought somebody could.
I want you to support your husband. I never tell you not to support him or not to be there for him. But as far as you goes, like, you know, I've been married before. I'm divorced. And I lost myself in that marriage. However, I don't want to spoil the energy or nothing like that, so I'm going to support you in your dreams and whatever you feel like makes you happy, then I want to be there in that moment.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming and just be honest because I knew you was going to be honest, and I love you.
I love you more.
I like to say to the people that judge my decisions that it's probably some things that I don't like that they do, but I don't judge them. There's nothing wrong to me with loving somebody. This is what I'm doing. I'm just loving someone. It doesn't matter where he's at, where he resides. I love someone. The future holds a lot for us. He will be coming home, and I'm certain of that, I'm sure. As soon as he's out and they see that he is the man that he said he was gonna be, it's gonna be like, wow, you really were in love, and that's beautiful.
What's the first thing you're gonna do when he gets released?
You really wanna know the first thing I'm gonna
Me trying to cry.
do?
You be trying to cry, but anyways, man. To get to the comment section, man, because ain't no way, bro. I don't understand why women be doing stuff like this because of the role reverse. He would not be waiting for her to come home out of prison. He would have moved on to the next chick. Nah, for real, he's not waiting, bro. I don't know no nigga who waiting, bro. He not. Unless it's like a little period of time. Ain't no life sentence, none of that. Nah, bro. Season for status of having a husband. Why else sleep around with mainly women and have a husband and New York and that sea? I want to say life sentence is life sentence. I thought that's it. Like you can't do nothing after that. Like I guess she still got faith. I don't know, bro. This is all wrong, and dragging her kids into this is a mess. Ridiculous. I don't know, bro. I mean, this is what she choose to do with her life, bro. It's her life. I don't judge nobody. I just observe, bro. It is what it is, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow, though.